Welcome to this complete Autodesk Revit course. My name is Ozago Chibzo Emmanuel. I'll be guiding you from being an absolute beginner to being a professional, that is producing professional construction drawings, architectural rendering, all in Revit. But we know Revit is a BIM software. But the thing is, what is BIM? BIM is a building information model. That is building information model. It's an intelligent digital process for creating, managing, sharing information about a building throughout its entire life cycle. That is from design, construction, to operation, to maintenance. So BIM is not just a software, it's a process. So you have an idea, then you design it, then the construction, the documentation, the operation, the maintenance. So it's the every step in a building. When you think of it, then you pass it on to those that will construct it, then you document it, then the operation. That is what they call the building information model. In BIM, every information has what it does. Like now, for its own window has its own information, wall has its own information. But in CAD, wall is just a line in CAD. But in BIM, wall is more than a CAD. It contains information like height, thickness, material, cost, area, volume. Have you seen why BIM is important? So we have different types of BIM softwares depending on which one you want to use. So examples of BIM softwares we use for architectural and multidisciplinary designs are: number one is Autodesk Revit. Yes, with the symbol there. This is the industry standard for anything construction. It's very popular because of its flexibility, also because it's well loaded. And that one that is very popular again is ArchiCAD. But this one is very popular in Europe. Why it's good is because it's flexible. Yes, you can manipulate things there. And then it allows for open collaboration. That means you and someone can easily collaborate because of its strong BIM cloud. And that one that is not quite common again is the um, snapshot. It's very common for architects. Why people love it a lot is because of the fast AI generated floor plan. So once you are doing your floor plan, it can assist with your floor plan because of this AI, and can also create a floor plan from beginning. That is the structure. And then the last but not the least is Vectorworks Architect. Very flexible. But the thing is, you first draw it in 2D, that's using line. Then it converts the line you have drawn to wall and to 3D modeling. So that is everything. But thing is, why Revit? Of all something we are using, of all BIM software, why should we use Revit? Now, Revit is a software for designing, documentation, visualizing and managing buildings. Architects use it, structural engineers use it, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineers use it, interior designers use it, quantity surveyors use it, construction managers use it. So a lot of people use it. So that's why it's a very popular software. That's the industry standard. But why should we learn the Revit? One, it's a growing demand. Everybody everywhere is learning Revit. Like if you're not learning Revit, you already know what I'm missing out from Revit. Also, better salaries. You can't compare those that learn AutoCAD, those that use AutoCAD purely, to those that use Revit. Because Revit uses to do interior designs, uses and creates good 3D models. So those that only know CAD, you can't compare their payment to those that know Revit very, very well. Then it links you up to international opportunities. Yes, you can partner with those that are abroad because it's an industry standard. So those in US, those in Indonesia, those in any part of the country also use Revit. It's the industry standard. Everywhere in the world is used. So also for freelancing, if you want to work by yourself, you don't want to work for anybody, that is it. So you can use Revit to do it. Then in construction firms, that is the standard because it can be used by construction engineers to check the structural integrity of building. So once you want to do anything construction, they use Revit. That's why Revit is important. Also, government projects, you cannot see any big, good government projects that Revit is not used. You can't use AutoCAD and start going for government projects because of the modeling and the rendering parts. Of course, that's why they use Revit. Real estate development. If you want to design real estate, what about real estate? People they like to see, they like what they want to see. I want to design an estate. Of course, showing it to a developer, you need to show the developer the model, the 3D forms of how many houses to be there, the road construction. No CAD software can do it, only Revit or any BIM software, but Revit is the best because it can contain it. And then because of the collaboration, you can coordinate with any form of engineer, the interior designers, because once you work with connection to cloud and networking, you and someone can work on the same project. You and more than 10 people can work on the same project, the same file. It's very easy to use. Also, fast design process. The time I use and draw line, draw window, retrieve it, I import the window, bam, it's already there. So me drawing the front elevation, the side elevation. Once I'm done with the floor plan, the elevations are there for me. So, and again, it uses site errors. That is one good thing about Revit. Mistakes that will be made that will be discovered using CAD on site. Revit, it will show you on time. You are already seeing it there. It is talking and do. You are seeing it. Everything is showing physically. And then for proper and professional documentation. That is one good thing about Revit. It's well documented. You can compile it to PDF and transfer to the next person that is going to work on the project. Like I said, it's not only the design, it's the process, it's the documentation. So because of the open collaboration, that's why it's very good to use Revit. That's one of the reasons why you should learn Revit. So till the next lesson, where I'm going to tell you the licensing requirements to install Revit and how to install Revit. Stay safe.